Well, my name is Dr. Wayne Sedlak. I want to share with you shall I say, my concern and even outrage. The fact that I've talked to many Republican, assemblymen and women, and even county supervisors and state senators. Many of them very good people. Not convinced all are, but that's not my point. Many of them do not know that a governor can line item veto. That concerns me because I've spoken to many of them, especially the assemblymen and the senators. I'll tell you about the county supervisors in a minute. With them, I'm not outraged. I think they have much they can do and say, and I'm going to pass it on to you. But the assemblymen and women and the senators at the state level, not one of them mentioned the governor's extraordinary power to veto, including line item vetoes. A line item veto simply means he can take a bill and he can put lines through. He can literally cross out the portions he doesn't like and yet then give his signature to pass the bill. There are three provisions. They are now in the Senate. They originally were in the House, the Assembly, State Assembly. They are SB 4, SB 5, and SB 7. SB 4, Senate Bill 4, prevents the state from forcing vaccinations upon its people. SB 5 prevents employers from forcing employees to be vaccinated as a condition of their employment. SB 7 would allow, shall we say, let's turn it around, it would prohibit medical officers at any level of the state government, prohibit them from stopping the gathering of people, including people in churches. So in other words, it stays their hand. We can gather in public again. And we can gather as churches, which I believe the churches should be and must be doing anyway. I'm amazed that what I'm told by Republicans is the three bills in the Senate have no chance of passage. You know what? It is very important that instead of expecting an instant win or an instant victory, we start exposing individuals. Individuals who, without exposure, continue to go on and on and on, doing the opposite of what they tell us publicly. I am outraged that I've not once been told by a state assemblyman or woman or a state senator about the line item veto power of the governor. So what's the sense in them opposing, Republicans opposing these three bills in the Senate, saying they don't have a chance and that's why they oppose them, then putting those three items in a large bill for the governor to get what he wants, take his, as they say, his victory lap, and we get our three protective provisions and a few other things. Since this bill has $100 million appropriations embedded within it, it is subject to a line item veto power of the governor. Well, what do you think, which lines do you think are going to be line item vetoed? Why aren't Republicans saying that? A, I'm convinced many of them don't know it. B, they're trusting their leadership. This goes back to Robin Vos in the Assembly. And Senator LeMahieu, who replaced Fitzgerald in the state Senate. How come we're not hearing this? Because they don't want you to hear it. Understand that at some point it becomes a matter of intent. We do have a lot of people contacting the two houses. It is time for all of us to contact the Senate and to demand of our senators, state senators, remember again, this is not federal, our state senators, we want a letter. I want a letter as to why you voted and how. I want it in print. And I want to be able to publish it. I believe that that's what people should do. But note the fact that the line item veto power is not being told to the constituency, the Republicans. And that does outrage me. Now, contact your county supervisors. They have great clout. They can contact Republican assemblymen and women and senators. Contact them. But talk to them also about the line item veto power of the governor. Not to buy into a big bill that will put before the governor with the 3 provisions that he can line item out. Put that before your county supervisors next couple of days. Email them. You don't have to inundate them. They'll get the message. Email and or call. Email and or call, and do that several times. At least that's what I do. When you're contacting your senators and assemblymen, but the county people, email them. Yeah, you can try and call them as well. Try and have a conversation with them. Try and meet with them. But you better act quickly, because you want them to contact the Republicans and tell them. If you have a Republican mayor, if you have a Republican sheriff, try and sit down with them soon. Tell them what's going on. Get a group of people in there. And remember, in all your cases, conduct yourself well. Do not ever threaten an official. Now's the time to act. This is a fight for liberty. And as a pastor, as a missionary, I have seen what happens when liberty is lost in Africa. Among my tribal brethren, I mean the African people themselves and the tribes, as I've ministered to them in 2 places, 2 major regions of Africa. I've seen what happens when law and order breaks down. And I'm seeing it right yet again in the areas to which I've ministered in the past. I've held the broken body of tribal brethren in my arms, a result of the breakdown of law and order. I believe that's another problem with all that's going on, this vaccination issue, the breakdown of law and order, as people are afraid, confounded, vexed, and angry. They don't respect government anymore. In a very real sense, I understand why. One last thing. For 47 years, I've never believed the hypocrisy of the government, either at the state or the federal level, when they said they had a great concern about the privacy of our bodies. Now, of course, I'm talking about the pro-life movement and the death ethic that's been inflicted upon the preborn in the womb. I've never believed the rhetoric that the government cares about the privacy of the body of individuals, and they're proving it now with our vaccination issues. There are ultra-wealthy individuals that will make literally billions, perhaps trillions of dollars on these vaccinations. It is the duty of the Senate, and tell them this, and of our assembly to protect us from those ultra-wealthy individuals who are going to make lots of money as they touch our bodies with the vaccines. Tell them that. It's time we be protected by the apparatus of government that is its proper role. This is a fight for liberty, and it's time that pastors interposition of the lesser magistrate. I wrote the original pamphlet on the Black Regiment. Those pastors, I wrote it back in the late 1980s and again in the early 1990s. A position paper on the Black Regiment, you may know it as the Black Robe Regiment. The British called them both. Those are pastors that put themselves up front and called for redress of grievance and called the king and parliament to account. They were interposing and calling for interposition of lesser magistrates. If the higher magistrates in our system, like the governor, don't stand, now's the time for the lesser magistrates, our county supervisors, our sheriff, our mayors. Get to know them, talk to them about interposition. Now's the time. Do your job, and take this to the Senate this weekend and in the next couple of days. Don't wait. They're moving on a fast track to defeat it, and the Republicans are counting on you not to do anything. I know. I've been told that. So do these three things. Go to visionviewpoint.com, look up interposition applied, drop down menu, find your rep. Again, it'll take you to a page where you find your rep. The map will come up. It'll give you your senator and representative, your assembly person. Contact them. Email, phone number, and call them. Do not threaten. Do it now. Contact everyone you know. Get to know your mayor. Contact him. Tell him to contact them. Tell the police. Tell whomever, your county supervisors especially. Tell your pastors to get involved, to interpose for their neighbors. Now's the time. May God bless you. Go to visionviewpoint.com.